Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Breakfast in Bed, your number one weekend starter. So like I said, as we're about to get December all dirty with so much fun and entertainment, it's very important that we keep December safe for our children, for ourselves, for our girls, for our boys. And these days, yes, for our boys these days, and for everybody, it's very, very important. So from November 25, 2025 to December 10, that's about 3 days ago, we had 16 days of activism for sexual and gender-based violence. It was done all over, but Lagos had a big one. Even the First Lady of Lagos, Dr. Bijoke Sanwo-Olu, was at, I can remember, I can count 2 events that I know that she attended concerning 16 days of activism and SGBV. So we have a guest in the house. We were meant to have another lady from the Lagos DSVA, but she said Lagos traffic is trafficking now. So we hope she joins us before we're done with this segment. But we have Kasme Ozuribu. He's a broadcast journalist and a child rights advocate. He's also the executive director of Edge Foundation. Welcome to Breakfast in Bed.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Glad to have you. So I'm even going to start with this. I know when we, sadly, I'm going to start with the story, the Ochaya lady, Ochaya girl. I knew you were at the forefront. I saw you on many television stations, many media outlets, lending your voice. So I want to start with that. With Ochaya died in 2018 after being abused for 5 years by her uncle and cousin. There was a court sentence. We acquitted the uncle, sentenced the auntie to some time in prison, and the cousin, they said, is at large. So my question, not an issue. So my question is, why is this resurfacing after 7 years?
Oh, it's resurfacing because there has been no justice. When justice is served, that is when probably everyone will let go of the whole conversation around Ochanya. It is because, funnily enough, it looks like the soul of Ochanya has not rested because she died in October 2018, and this case resurfaced again in October 2025. And that is to tell you that this girl still requires or needs justice to be able to rest properly. So why we were out on the streets is because we are asking that the justice system take its course. Now, we are hearing that the guy who perpetrated this act has been at large for the past 7 years, and that is unbelievable. And he's here in Nigeria. It's not like he's outside the country, whereby we know that the police that we have can be able to go anywhere around the world and extradite someone and bring them back to Nigeria to face justice. So how come up until now the Inspector General of Police have not declared Victor Obuja wanted up until now? So that is the reason why we are angry. The person who started this act was Victor. He's still at large, and he was recently found somewhere in Lagos doing music. And someone spotted him and said, this is Victor, who raped Ochanya to death. They did this girl a mess, right? So he's here having a life, and probably around girls, women, children. We don't know what he's been doing. You know, so that is why we're out on the street again and calling for justice.
Okay, so let's just get straight. So I just wanted us to shed a light on that Ochanya case, because we can't get into SGBV without even talking about that. So, but there's 16 days of activism. Why? What's the essence? What do we aim to gain? What are we bothered about? What are we worried about? Why are we doing this?
We should be bothered because this is a pandemic that has not been nipped in the bud, and it's been existing since the existence of humanity. You know, 16 Days of Activism is an internationally recognized period where we, beam our light on women, girls, gender-based violence of all sorts, including men as well, So we try to use a period to, we map out that period to be able to, focus on gender-based violence against women. It's something that we talk about every day, but that period serves as a time where we, focus on it properly, give it the voice that it requires, give it the energy, the time, and the sensitization that that comes with everything that has to do with gender-based violence. So that period is very crucial and sacrosanct in the lives of everyone around the world, because, I mean, if we don't talk about these things and if we don't bring this thing to an end, even if we can't bring it to an end, so to speak, because crime can never come to an end, but at least minimize it to the barest minimum, whereby our children and our women will be very safe. I mean, you go around the market today, you enter someone like like she now, she can enter the market, people start touching her, my color, start touching her all here and there. These are the things that we go into the market to tell people that it's inappropriate to touch women like that. You can call someone to come
touch
back
men like
and
that.
touch men like that. So you do not need to do all of those things. So we needed this period. We needed this period, and we did a lot, actually.
Okay,
So do you have okay, go on. Yeah.
Sorry, recently, Lagos State government recently launched a policy that has to do with technology facilitated SGBV, exactly to tackle abuse on social media. So how do you think this is going to be very effective after the launch? Okay,
it's going to be really effective, and in fact, it is effective because this year's theme is Unite Against cyberbullying, sexual cyberbullying, right? Are you on Twitter? Are you conversant with Twitter?
Yes.
You get to see that there is a Twitter AI called Grok now. You can actually innocently post your picture as a lady, like looking fly, just celebrating whatever thing it is about that you've won or something that is going on in your life. You see some guys pick up your picture and say, Grok, make her naked. Grok, let's see the upper part of her body, right? So this is why we needed this time. I mean, and with the policy that the Lagos State government and Lagos DSVA has launched, it is time that we went out to schools, communities, to sensitize people and also teach secondary school girls the dangers, and secondary school boys, the dangers of, cyberbullying, sexual harassment. Now they've just not doing it in physical aspects. They have moved online. So we need to start talking about these things because of the increase in the way AI is out now. We can see that AI can do all manner of things right now. So it is really important and sacrosanct at this moment that we nip everything that has to do with internet or cyber sexual bullying in the bud.
So what are the things being put in place for people to actually speak up more?
Well, there are nothing put in place for anyone to speak out more. What is put in place is what we are doing, which is the sensitization that we carry out in churches, because the only thing to do is to speak out. There is nothing to be done for you to speak out. What we only want to do is encourage you to have the strength or to have the ability to speak up when you are faced with such things, particularly for girls and particularly for men, right? So we get to find out that there is a culture of silence and a culture of shame, shaming the victims of sexual abuse or sexual harassment, domestic violence, and all manner of things. They try to make you feel ashamed as the victim. So what we are doing is to decolonize the mind of people and let them know that, look, when you've been harassed, you are the victim and shouldn't be ashamed of it. And the families as well. If your child has been sexually harassed or abused, you should speak up. You shouldn't be ashamed of this. This is nothing to be ashamed of. For instance, let's just paint a scenario here. If someone busts into your home and steals from you or steals your car or anything from you and he catches up with a thief, you and the thief, who is supposed to be ashamed?
The thief, obviously.
The thief, right?
Yeah.
So, but then why do we now, let me also tell you that someone raping a child or sexually harassing someone is stealing someone's innocence, is stealing something from the person. You are stealing the person's right and the person's consent. The person did not give you the consent, so you are forcefully taking it from the person. So you should be the one to be ashamed and not the victim. So what we are doing is to tell parents, to tell guardians, to tell people that, look, these people are the victims. So please, put the shame on the family and the perpetrators. So that is what we try to do. There is nothing to be done to let you come out to speak up, but what we're doing is tell you to speak up. And to those people who think that they're very powerful, untouchable, they cannot be touched. There are people who perpetrate evil and they tell you that nothing will be done. Recently, there was a case in Enugu, somewhere in Opinsuka and Enugu Ezike. Two actually happened from that community. A 13-year-old girl was given out to a 30-plus-year-old man for marriage. And from that same community, the girl was living with her uncle somewhere in Nsukka. And guess what? The uncle was sleeping with her since she was 13, and she currently died at 19. And it was the same uncle that actually killed her, because when they tried to get the man apprehended, the family said, oh, it's a family matter, it's a family issue, let it go, we don't want to go to court, let's just let it slide, you know, stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it is still the same uncle who killed her, because she tried to escape from the man and she ran away. The man went to the hospital where she's receiving treatment, brought her out from the bed, hit her on the floor, and her head hit on the floor. Before they could take her to a hospital where they can treat her, she gave up.
Okay, but we were talking about what Lagos is doing. So I just found out that Lagos launched prohibition of sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment in tertiary institutions in Lagos yesterday. So Lagos State government is really working. We all know that when it comes to domestic and sexual violence, Lagos State government is really at the forefront. So Lagos State government actually launched that at tertiary institutions yesterday. But I have something to, when we were talking yesterday, I brought this up, and I also thought about it again, and I said, I don't want to be misconstrued, and I want people to listen properly. Yeah. So when people talk about their truth, the victims, they say, okay, now this is my truth, I was raped at so age, this person raped me. But my concern is the perpetrators of this act. I know there's no, we can't dictate when people should come out to say the truth. Your truth and the timing of your truth is for you to decide. But most times, when the perpetrators of this act are maybe successful, have names, quite rich now, popular and famous, then the victims feel that is the time for them to come out to say the truth. So I'm concerned, is it the truth at that time, or it's a revenge at that time?
Well, I think somehow you answered that question, because you said one cannot be told when to speak up, right? And we tend to look at this from a certain angle. One can speak up at any time in their life when they have found solace, when they have found peace.
But do they find solace when these people are famous? That's what we see most times.
Well, it might not be what you're looking at. They might also want to warn people about it. This person has done this to me in the past.
Okay.
There is a possibility that this person is also doing this with their position that they are currently holding in the society right now. They could be doing these things and getting away with it because of how much power they have acquired and how much power they wield. So it is not because the person wants to witch hunt or wants to get anything out of it. And, you know, this is reason why I said there is nothing that will be done but rather than to encourage people to speak up, because you do not need to wait for 20 years, 30 years. A woman's body is the crime scene when they have been raped. So if you present yourself to medical tests, they can be able to ascertain if there was forceful entry and, you know, all of that, right? But if you do not present yourself at that moment, there is no way to even be able to get tangible evidence to hold the person accountable. So that is why we encourage people to speak up on time and not to wait until the person is powerful or popular. But at the same time, you can still speak up anytime, right? It is your right. It is your choice.
And it's your truth.
And your truth, to be able to speak up at your own time.
Asma, we're running out of time, but I just want us to touch on this before we go. Sorry. We've been talking about girls being sexually abused. These days, boys are being sexually abused by women. I saw a 16-year-old and a 32-year-old video that was trending. So women are being they've always been sexually abused by men have always been sexually abused by women.
Men and women.
And these days, men are also being sexually abused by men. And
younger boys.
Yes, and we tend not to talk about these things because we feel it's a kind of taboo, or things should not be said, or things should not be heard. We know men abuse men, we know women abuse men, but we seem to concentrate more on the women. But what final words can you just drop this? We have less than 30 seconds about this, about the boys too.
Well, for the boys and for every child, Edge Foundation stands for every child, right? We educate, we develop, we guide, and we empower them to speak up at every given time. There is no reason why anyone who's sexually abused should not speak up, whether men or women. And these things has been going on for ages. If you talk to almost all the men, they will always tell you that, oh, my aunt, our housemaid, someone who lives in a compound did this to me, did that to me. But the truth is that there is no way you can be able to ascertain how a man was raped. So that is why we encourage men to speak up as well, so as they can be able to get justice. These things are just pandemic that we really need to shed more light on.
Thank you very much for coming. Kasme Ozuribo is a broadcast journalist and executive director, Edge Foundation.
Yes.
We love what you're doing. We see what you're doing. I'm glad you're doing this, though. So
I've
well
always done this. Oh, please.
Well done. Guys, thank you for coming to Breakfast in Bed.
Thank you so
And we
much.
hope to have you come on another platform very
course,
soon.
of course.
Very soon. Guys, we need to leave. We're running out of time.
SGBV is something I've always loved. Trust me, even because we don't have much time, I really have a lot to ask.
We can always have time to come back and discuss this, yes.
All right, now, my name is Elizabeth Shulari. See you guys next week.
And I am Adedayo Kenny. See you next weekend.
So for me, I'll just say it's Christmas season. Children are celebrating, are excited, are having fun. Please
true.
take a closer look at them. Study your children. Whatever changes, whatever behavior, please ask questions. And always, I always say this, please, no matter how scary the stories might be, always create a safe space for your children. Always and always and always, I am begging. Always create a safe space for your children, no matter how scary the stories might sound. My name is Bababumi Agbibi. Take care of yourselves.
That the morning fantastic. See you with flam, put it on your tongue, then flip it up like gymnastics. Anything you want, you can have it. Sausage, yalla,